New York. Let's bring in weather specialist Noura Fat.
Hey, thanks very much, Ann. Well, it's a scene too good. I'm feeling like I might just stand out of the way and let them take the limelight here. Lots of people enjoying Toronto Harbor Front, and rightfully so. The temperatures very well pushing a lot of people towards places to cool down. 28 degrees outside the Toronto airport, but a word that you're going to be getting tired of hearing in the next few days is humidex. How are things feeling when you factor in the humidity? And that's 34 in Toronto, 35 Windsor and Timmins, a tad bit cooler for our friends in Kingston, but that will change in the next few days. What we're seeing is excessive heat warnings up in northern Ontario for humidex values nearing the 40s. That will continue into Tuesday, and of course that humidity sparking these thunderstorms that are seeing some severe thunderstorm watches as they continue to roll through. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something issued down here soon by Environment Canada, because we're also going to see some uncomfortable temperatures over the course of next week. Humidex values nearing 38, 37, 39 for many across southwestern, southern and eastern Ontario. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For now, let's take a look at what's unfolding in the overnight, which is a whole lot of nothing. We're only going to see cloud cover build from the east heading into Monday morning, and that will make way potentially a chance of showers probably around the Georgian Bay area. For the most part, expecting things to remain dry in the GTA. Your overnight tonight, clear skies, but blast that AC because it's going to be a warm one. Come tomorrow, high temperatures actually might be closer to 30 in Toronto and feeling closer to 36 with the humidity. Anne?
Thank you, Nour. More than 1,500 fitness enthusiasts. So, Nour, a lot of people with questions about the weather, and yes, it can be, important information to have if you're planning a vacation, but also really important information for a variety of health reasons, whether you are dealing with the wildfire situation in your neck of the woods or, heat-related illnesses, because in some parts of the country, it is baking hot.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big story in the next week to come, and we're looking at rising temperatures, rising humidex values, central and eastern Canada. That relief in parts of the prairies and the west coast also may be short-lived. A hot air mass has been settling over central Canada, pushing to the east, and that's causing quite a bit of concern. Thunder Bay, 29, feeling closer to 39 around Hudson Bay. Waskaganish, Quebec, feeling closer to 40 with the humidex. And we know that's a problem, especially for heat-related illnesses. Hard to adapt to these temperatures, both for humans and pets. Concerns also on this side of the country. We're still seeing some relief for BC as we continue to see some rain, potentially into northern Alberta as well in the next day or two. But some of the cooler temperatures are already starting to climb, and that will mean more dry conditions ahead. Concerning for those wildfires, especially in areas like Jasper, where we know still the wildfire is burning out of control, and things could get worse with the incoming dry conditions over there. In Toronto tomorrow, your high will probably feel closer to 30. We'll probably measure closer to 30, feel closer to 36 with the humidex. As for the most part, a sunny start to your morning, clouding over as we head into the late afternoon. For the most part, dry conditions, though. We could see some showers around northern Durham region later on in the evening, potentially into the Cornwall area as well. Tuesday is when we'll start to see the sparks fly, expecting some thunderstorms early in the morning when you wake up, the GTA towards North Bay, and then sliding into Cottage Country, Ottawa, and to the east as you head into the afternoon. It will be round one, but it won't be the only round. We'll see several over the course of next week, as I mentioned, because those humidex values will remain high up until we get into the weekend. Potentially could see some relief come next week, where humidex values will be closer to the 30s rather than the 40s. 29 in London tomorrow, 29 in Milton, 30 in Guelph, 31 Muskoka, and into Barrie. And here we are, your next 7 days. Expect the thunderstorms to return Friday and into Saturday. After we see a bit of a break, still some high temperatures, quite warm on your weekend in Toronto, 28 on Sunday, feeling closer to 34.
First look at the forecast. Let's bring in weather specialist Noura Fat.
Hey, thanks very much, Anne. Well, it may look a little bit quiet just now, but we know the Toronto Harbor got a whole lot of love from people on jet skis, kayaks, paddleboards, boats. all of the watercrafts that I was not on, but I'll get over it. We still got plenty of summer left. 24 degrees outside the Toronto airport. Is it feeling like 24 though? Nah. No, it's not. With the humidex values closer to 30, and that's been a common theme these past few days and will continue to be a common theme over the course of next week. Excessive heat warnings still in place for parts of northern and northwestern Ontario. Humidex values nearing the 40s as we head into the start of next week, and we've seen that high humidity and heat will fuel some of these thunderstorms on and off in northern Ontario. They started to die down as the sun set, but we've got multiple rounds on the way. We're still not seeing any weather alerts in southern Ontario, but that doesn't mean things will be all fine and dandy. It'll get quite uncomfortable heading into next week, and we'll break that down in the full forecast. Sunny skies for the start of your Monday and much of your afternoon in the GTA. The cloud cover and some of those low pressure systems in Michigan will start to roll in, potentially southwestern Ontario later on in the evening. For the most part, we'll be on the clear side in the GTA for one more day. 22 degrees in Toronto overnight. You've got some AC. Make sure you crank it up. Don't sleep with the window open. You would have fumbled the bag, to be honest. By tomorrow, it'll actually be closer to 30 in terms of what the thermometer is measuring. Your humidex closer to 36. Anne?
Thank you, Nor. More than 1,500 fish. Tis the season for tea storms and beaches and cottages. What do we have in store?
Yeah, I hate to bring up the dreaded T word, Anne, but it is that
time of year.
Exactly, and that's something that we're going to be paying attention to over the next couple of days as we see climbing temperatures from many parts of the country, coast to coast, but also for some, climbing humidity values. But we know those numbers that you're seeing don't tell the full story, because 30 degrees in Windsor felt closer to 37. The 30 in Thunder Bay felt closer to 39 when you factor in the humidex. And this is a word that you're going to get tired of hearing in the next few days as a hot air mass really settles into central Canada, pushing towards the east. We're going to see more of those uncomfortable temperatures into the first week of August. Changes on this side of the country. Still some relief in parts of BC, even northern Alberta, with rain in the forecast, but some of the cooler temperatures that we saw in the prairies are once again starting to climb, and that is bad news for the already dry areas, and the areas very prone of wildfires. Places like Jasper that saw some relief. Still, though, that fire burning out of control, things will get exceptionally dry in southern portions of the prairies in the next few days. Let's focus on our problems, which is 30 degrees for your high in Toronto tomorrow, feeling closer to 36. And we are, for the most part, expecting dry conditions across much of the GTA. As I mentioned, a risk of thunderstorms later on in southwestern Ontario in the evening, but we're really going to see that active weather materialize on Tuesday towards Georgian Bay, up in the north and also in the GTA. It'll start to make its way out heading into Wednesday. So although originally we were expecting potentially a stormy Wednesday for the GTA, it looks like the skies may open up later on in the afternoon. Can't say the same for our lovely viewers in Peterborough and Cottage Country. Totals all over the place before the middle of the week, from the 20 to 40 millimeter range in parts of southwestern Ontario, barely seeing any accumulation in the GTA. Now, the thunderstorms are going to be a common theme over the next few days as we see temperatures like this and humidity values nearing the 40s. That's good news because we need relief, and those thunderstorms can provide that, but will be short-lived. Friday and Saturday stormy, still heading into Sunday, 28 degrees, feeling closer to 34.